Oh, unmute. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you to everyone who is joining us today. We were drinking in the green room. This is the first time we've started on time in a while. So we appreciate not only our speakers, being on time and testing things out beforehand, but also all of you who are joining right on time. If you want to follow suit with some of our users, we love seeing where everyone is joining from all over the world. So please feel free to use the chat and let us know where you're joining from. And if it's your first community call, we'll go through a few quick logistics. So as I mentioned, we use the chat feature for YouTube heavily. So feel free to add your thoughts, add your comments and questions, anything in there, and we'll watch it throughout the presentations and the demos. So we can get those answered for you. And then if we don't get a chance to answer it, that's the best place to go after is Discord, which is where we live with all of these community members who are speaking with us today, and also our commanders. So all of the Dagger specialists are I can't talk today, clearly. Everyone who knows what to do with Dagger can help you answer questions in there. But we also have community members who have great conversations around what they're doing in the space and their use cases. So it's really fun to get to know everyone in there. And if you're watching and you want to submit a topic just like these people have, feel free to reach out to me on Discord and I can get you into the schedule. So thank you again, everyone, for joining us today. So I think I don't have an agenda slide. So let me actually remove this so we can all say hi. Everyone can see our amazing faces. And maybe we can do some quick intros and then we can get started in demos. So
I have to just comment for a second, Miranda, that my shirt is lining up pretty amazingly with this background. I don't know. I think I have to make something happen here.
Yeah, you need to
really close. I'm gonna. Yeah, it's really close.
Looking good.
Yeah, I love that. That's like when I remember I stretched out one of the logos by accident, and then you're like, "Hey, like, no, so you're doing stretching out the logo there for good." I love it. Well, for those who don't know, who are maybe joining us for the first time, I'm Miranda. I'm head of community. I run all the community programs, and I get to meet all these amazing people out in all the various conferences, and like our hack nights, which some of you have came from, some of our speakers today. So again, if you see me in Discord or at one of the events, like feel free to say hi, and I'd love to talk to you. And Jeremy, you want to introduce yourself, just in case?
Yeah, absolutely. So Jeremy Adams here. You see me in Discord as Jeremy Adams, so easy to find. I'm the head of ecosystem, and we have a small but mighty team that work on everything from documentation to examples to videos, and I also work a lot with our Dagger partners. So really excited to have Christoph on, who is, I'm sure, gonna drop some knowledge on us. And it's really fun getting to work with all these different folks in the community and the partners.
Yeah. I just realized this is a very fun community call because not everyone has the context who's watching, but Christoph is from the puzzle team. They're one of our consulting partners, and they also helped us at the Hack Night in London, which then we also have all these other amazing folks, Tristan, Dorian, and Matthias, who came from the Hack Night. So
it's all connected, man.
Everything's connected. So it just, from the community side, on my side, just so beautiful to see of how this all works. So Christoph, maybe do you want to introduce yourself and maybe a little bit about what you're going to be showing us today too?
Yes, my name is Christoph. I'm from Puzzle ITC. We're located in Bern, Switzerland. So we're doing everything from A to Z, from development until platform engineering. So I'm a platform architect and lead of CI/CD team at Puzzle. So we're heavily running Dagger pipelines and trying to find customers and convince them to use Dagger also. And today I'm going to show how you can keep your modules updated.
And Tristan, you want to go next and share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. So hello everyone, I'm Tristan. I'm a student at Polytech Montpellier, but also a software engineer apprentice at a startup called Sweep. So basically, it's a green tech startup that provides analytics tool to companies to make sure that they fit European regulations regarding carbon. And besides that, I'm in love with virtualization, containerization, and so on. And that's why we came to the Daggernauts.
I love it, and it was great to meet all of you in person, and excited to see you
today. yeah, that was so cool.
Dorian?
Yeah, so hi everyone, my name is Dorian. So I'm like Tristan, a computer engineering student, where we learn about DevOps, cloud computing, and many other things. I'm not used to giving this kind of presentation, but it's a good exercise, I think. And so, I'm really glad to be here. And so today, we'll talk about how to play StarCraft in Dagger. But before that, I will let Matthias present himself.
So I'm Matthias Dura. I'm, as my colleagues, a student from Montpellier. I also work as an intern for a company named ITsoft, which does some software for accounting for people, mostly in France. I hope you will be enjoying our talk tonight. And
yeah, we're very excited to see it. I know it was funny when we talked about some of the summaries of like the demos from Hack Night in London, that this one definitely caught people's attention because it's just so unique, but very, very fun. And it also just shows the flexibility of Dagger. So that's the best part of Hack Nights, right? You can just do whatever you want, which is also our shameless plug to our Hack Night happening in San Francisco next week on Wednesday. So I know it's a long flight for all of you, but if watching more local to San Francisco are going to be in the area next week on Wednesday, we would love to see you. You can go to our Dagger.io and go to that events page, and then you can find it there. But I'll also make sure it gets in the chats here for anyone who would love to join us. So
I'll be there.
Yeah, you'll be there. Okay, perfect. I'll be there too. So two of the six of us here. Awesome. Well, let's go. Maybe Christoph, we could start with your demo and then get your screen up here. Let me add the stage. There we go. Perfect. You can see your slides.
Oh, great. So I think many started building Dagger modules and then they lay around from some time, and sometimes you forget to update them, and then the new Dagger version, I know that you're building really fast. So at the Dagger Hacks Night, we had 2 releases the same day. So it's sometimes hard to keep up. So I was trying to find solutions how we can automate the updates of our Dagger modules and pipelines. We see here the content of a Go module. We have important files like Dagger.json. There we see the Dagger engine version, and also when we install other Dagger modules, then you see there the version of the related Dagger modules. Then Go mod, Go sum are the package management for Go, and it's also important that they're updated. So for me, a solution to keep our software up to date is to use Renovate bot. So I thought, we're gonna try this one. I just activate Renovate. We can use it on GitHub, and then we have everything we need. But it wasn't that easy. So Renovate bot does not know anything about Dagger. It doesn't know about Dagger modules. It just knows about software, dependencies, libraries. So I had to find out a way how we can teach him to renovate Dagger the right way. So I'm gonna show you one of our modules that we have at Puzzle. It's a clone. I cloned it. It's a Helm module, so we can release our Helm charts, and we use that internally. And it's also on Daggerverse, so you can use it when you'd like to use them. We see I have 21 pull requests, and all those pull requests will update some Go dependencies. I'll check one of those pull requests. The check, my pipeline here is also Dagger pipeline. It is all green, it's all good, but what we saw that the pull request is not good, and we have some problems that the Renovate bot he cannot update the artifacts because there are some Go runs that don't go through. So then I saw, that's not the way we have to do it. So it would be better when we have just pull requests that are related to the Dagger engine, because the Dagger engine knows how to update the module. So when you update new version of your Dagger CLI, then you can easily update your modules. But I have to see how we can do it with our Renovate bot. So for this, I'm just gonna check out the repository, because I'm gonna work on this one. So I have here my repository with different Dagger modules. The Helm module directory is the most important module that we have. So I'm going to check here the branch of one of those pull requests. And then I'm going to do a Dagger develop so that I can update my module locally. Then we see the changed files. We see here we need to update to the newest Dagger version. I hope you didn't release one some minutes ago. This will bust my demo, but we will see. Then we also see that the Go mod and Go sum are updated and everything works. We can also call the functions. That's for me just to compile the module and to see if it's running. So this is good, it works. But we see there are missing parts of the renovation. We really have to renovate it the right way. So this is what I tried, and I built a Dagger Renovate, and I did it as a Dagger module. So I just thought we need some configuration of Renovate. So this here is a normal Renovate configuration. I have to set some limits, and with this configuration, there we have the 21 pull requests that are open. So I thought we have to tell Renovate how to update the version of of our Dagger JSON. So I had to define a custom manager, and with this custom manager, it will go on GitHub, the releases, go to Dagger, see what's the newest release, and then update our Dagger JSON file with the newest version. So I'm gonna run my Renovate bot and see if it's gonna do the update how we expect it. So I have my call prepared. It's gonna start. I'm gonna show my implementation later, but we're gonna see, and hopefully it's gonna run through.
Well, you did say earlier in a chat with you that you did your sacrifice to the demo gods, right? So we're good.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, we see we already have some output from the Renovate command, so that's hopefully looking good.
nice. And we had some, while this is loading, we had a user say that they're really interested in this use case because they're using Renovate as well, but they're not using Dagger. So this is opening up as to how to do this. It's great.
Great. Now we see the pull requests are decreasing. That's because I said I don't want to have the Go dependencies renovated, so they will close all the Go related pull requests. And what's popping up here is a pull request for our module test. So this module now will have a pull request, and you see that the engine version is updated correctly. But yeah, it's just one part of the update. As I showed, we have also to run Dagger develop, and that was then the most difficult part, how we can run Dagger develop inside the Renovate. So for this, we also need then an extended configuration that we see how we can update. We have to define allowed commands that we can run inside Renovate. And then I needed special package rules for Dagger that it will had some prefix. We saw that on the pull request that it's named module and then the path to the module. And the commands after will be that I install the the version of the Dagger CLI that is mentioned or updated before in the Dagger JSON file. And then we run Dagger develop. And with this, we will have everything updated that we need to.
And Christoph, this is
Yes.
kind of interesting, right? Because a lot of people, if you're working just locally, the typical workflow is first go download, the latest Dagger version, and then just run Dagger develop on your local module, and that will update your Dagger JSON for you. And of course, if you run into errors, there's a problem. But if it may well, if it works, if the code generation and everything just works, then at least you've gotten a certain level of smoke testing done at that point. This way, because you're doing it with automation, it's more like, okay, first I need to know what is the latest version of Dagger out there. Let's just put it in Dagger JSON, assuming, that's what we're going to work with, and then run Dagger develop. So yeah, interesting. When you have to automate things, sometimes because you want to get that change in first. It makes me wonder about the idea of instead maybe running this in a different execution environment and then creating a pull request. If you just ran Dagger develop and made a pull request after with the changes. that were generated. So yeah, really interesting.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm really using it. Then when we have the pull request, then all my tests will run through. So I see then how everything works. I can easily merge it, and I don't have to do all manually. So now we're gonna use the latest configuration here and run renovation again. And hopefully we'll get the expected result. So we still have
I have a question actually,
Mhm.
Christoph. I have a question.
Yes.
So I never used Renovate before. Actually, I didn't knew about that. Could you give a quick introduction to that tool?
Yes, Renovate bot or also Depender bot. These are just bots you can use to update your dependencies. So Renovate bot is integrated with GitHub. For open source projects, you just can activate it, and then it will, as you see here, it will do some pull requests for you, and it will scan your repository, find dependencies that can be Docker images, every known programming language, and also GitHub actions, and then it will do pull requests for you, so that you don't have to find the updates yourself.
Okay, that's so cool.
Thanks. So let's check it run through. That's a good sign. Now we see there's some checks running and the changed files. Now I'm happy. We have the engine version updated. We got here go mod go sum. Everything is updated how we do it locally when we do the Dagger develop. So when the checks are running through, then I'm confident that everything was good, and then I can merge this pull request, and after that, we can increase the version and release our module. But this is only one part because I don't want to do this locally. So for this, we need another workflow. And this workflow then should run on GitHub. Yes, so now I have to change the repository. So I have the latest of my new module. So I create my renovation workflow, and I prepared a workflow that you can use on any GitHub repository. You just have to have your Dagger Cloud token. That's the only thing that you have to prepare before. And you also have to give your GitHub token write access to your repository. And then it takes everything out of your context. So you don't have to change here anything. Also, the repositories are just configured that it's only your repository that it will renovate. So normally you have one renovate bot renovating everything, but I thought it's better that I just have one for my repository here. So
I loved you using the Dagger CLI in there with Dagger core and pulling one file from the Git repo and exporting it to the local GitHub Actions runner. And if folks didn't catch that, maybe bring it up on the screen one more time. It's pretty, it's pretty cool use of Dagger CLI. within the GitHub Actions workflow.
Yes, so I had to use the Dagger core to get my configuration file out of the repository where my Dagger Renovate is. Perhaps Jerry, you have a better idea how to do things like this, but we can, improve that.
No, I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
great. I mean, that's, it's really, really cool, and very explicit of, I love that you're using Dagger to pull that file and drop it on your runner, and then running Dagger call with all of your arguments. Yeah, it's very explicit. It's very clear. So yeah, I love it.
Okay, thanks. So we're gonna check now our module. It's a manual action at this time, so I will then add some schedules, but we see here the renovate action, and I can start it manually. So we have the same command as running it locally. So it will not do anything because I already have the pull requests. So you see here it's starting the Dagger engine, and then the Dagger engine is running. It will do all the work for us. I'd like to show my implementation of the bot. So it's just two methods. It's one that's preparing my Renovate container. So I first started to use the Renovate image, the official image, and try to give him the rights to run the Dagger CLI, but I was not successful how to implement it this way. So I started using a Docker in Docker container and installing Renovate on top of it. So this container can run the Dagger engine and can start containers. So this here is the base, which I'm using then for my GitHub action, GitHub function. I need some read token that it can get the releases from Dagger, and then the write token that it can write do the pull requests. It needs the Docker socket, and then I give in some repositories. With the newest version, 18.6, you shouldn't use a parameter named debug. This will crash your module. So I had to rename it. But then I just using the Renovate container, giving in some needed configuration. I put in the config file, and then I just can start Renovate. I need some special permissions that I can run Docker in Docker. But with that I have a solution that works.
Very cool. And so you were running into a name, like a reserved word problem with debug?
Yes, when I did the update from 18.5 to 18.6, it told me that I have the same parameter twice.
Ah.
Yeah.
And, sorry, go ahead, Christoph.
Okay. So that was for my demo. I'm happy that it was successful.
No, this is really cool, and it's really cool to see in the chats too that people are thinking about this use case for their own stack too. So one of the questions that came in is that they use a centrally managed Renovate instance. So it's hard to add custom settings. So does the repo level Renovate JSON suffice in this case?
I had to do some configuration for self-hosted Renovate. This is the config for that you saw, and the renovation configuration of the repository is not enough. You can update the engine version, but you cannot do then the Dagger develop.
Got it. Awesome. And I think I know some of the people who are asking questions and then chatting back. So it's good. I would love to start a thread on this when we have the demo forum too, because other people who might be looking into this as a solution would probably love to see that conversation continue in there. So I'll ping some of the
great.
chat there. But it's also, do you mind going to the, actually, or maybe this is great, but for people who are watching who may be new to Dagger, and looking at the functions and the modules you built and the bot, if any of that is like overwhelming to you or you're not sure where to get started, this is just a reminder to people watching that the goal of these calls is to show these types of examples on how people who are already using Dagger are using it. But if you're just getting started, go to our docs. We have an amazing quick start. Jeremy's team has been working tirelessly on improving all that. We have an agents one, we have the CI one. So go in there and check it out, and that's going to walk you through everything from building your first function to modules to building your agents. So just a reminder to anyone who's watching, if you are confused at all or you want more understanding of those, our docs are going to be the best place to go. And then obviously our Discord for any questions too. So just wanted to remind.
Yeah, this is not Christoph's first time touching Dagger. He's been working for a while.
Yeah. This is like me watching a cooking show and then thinking I can cook what they just did. Not really seeing, the basics first. So go back to the cookbook. So just wanted to remind folks if they're new watching, but go for it, Christoph.
Okay, thanks. I'm just going to do a short wrap up. So for me, the biggest thing was to run Dagger in a module that is started by Dagger, and the Renovate is also in between. So it's I had some special behavior when my CLI on the host didn't have the same version as the CLI inside my Renovate container. It killed from inside my outside engine, and then I was stuck. So yeah, as some things that we really have to have the same version so that it works, because it's using the same Docker daemon. So that's some things that I run into, and yeah, it's a bit a complex layout. So that's the challenge that I had. It was the nesting, what I showed here, or using the debug argument, and also those who know Renovate a bit. So there's some configuration hierarchy that will override your configuration, or you have some state in your repository when you close pull request, and it will be skipped afterwards. Or also the repository configuration, when I had the recommended config in there, it won't renovate my tests or my examples. So there's some things to consider, but I will provide everything as documentation with my Renovate module. So I'll have some ideas. So it's great that we started a thread on this one. There's some small things that I have to fix, and also one thing would also be to update the Dagger module dependencies when you install another module. So you're using some other modules inside your module. You need to also to update those dependencies. And Jeremy, I saw that there's some working there that I can get the latest version, I think.
Yeah, actually, I'll pop it into the chat as well. That we've got well, it looks like it kind of spread my comment over a couple, but you get the idea. There's a couple issues there where we're talking about keeping the semver versions of modules, in the module themselves, in the Dagger JSON. So the installed versions, keeping track of them a bit better could make it easier as you're trying to update all the dependencies. So something that we're working on.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so that's some work to do also to support other platforms like GitLab or run it locally to any Git repository. So yeah, happy to talk with you when you would like to give some comments or work on the Renovate bot.
Very cool. I'm super excited too to see like in the Dagger repo, we use Dagger in Dagger. And so like with that, you could take whatever version you have of Dagger locally and you can run, you can get a new dev engine and CLI to work with, all kind of contain Dagger inside of Dagger. So it'd be interesting to see if like even there's some other things that we could do, as we, to improve this or make it easier to handle things. Because yeah, indeed, like the whole the thing with the engines, if you are sharing the same Docker instance, there's also there's this idea if you had two CLIs of different versions that the one CLI, the CLI that's currently running would kill the other engine version and bring up its engine version. There's also a flag to not kill the other engine. So I don't know if you tried that. Did you try and keep both engines, or did that work or not?
I didn't use that flag, no. But
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
this would be an idea.
Yeah, just interesting to see, ways to further take this, but very, very cool.
Thanks.
I will after this we'll or tomorrow for sure we will definitely have all of these demo snippets up in our Discord forum, and I'll tag Christoph, I'll tag a few people that I know we're chatting about this in the YouTube chat as well, and that way we can continue the conversation here. And I also put a screenshot of your kind of last slide about next steps. It's gonna be really cool to see where you take this, but then also where the community can contribute and talk through some of these ideas too. So maybe we'll have to have a session 2 about the improvements on the community call. But thank you so much, Christoph, for showing this. If you
Welcome.
and if there's any links, if you don't mind sharing that in the general channel on the Discord for the people watching, that would be great.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you. And now, Tristan, I think you're going to share your screen, right, for your demo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's ready to be shared.
Perfect. Let me. It says no. Oh, okay. There we go. Now we're good. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So I think Dorian can start.
Yeah. So thank you to be here, everyone. And so let's talk about what we've done during the Dagger Hack Night at London. And it was about playing StarCraft with Dagger. So let's go back a little in the previous episode, and to quickly introduce our team. So we are 3 students from Polytech Montpellier, from the south of France, Matthias, Tristan, and me. And each of us is currently doing an apprenticeship in a different company. And we share a common interest in dev tools, infrastructure, and learning by building things. So we also wanted to give a big thank you to Polytech Montpellier for giving us the opportunity to attend KubeCon in London and being here today with all of us. And of course, a huge thank to Dagger team for organizing this Hack Night and giving us the chance to present what we worked on. So now let's talk about what was our mission. For those who weren't there, the first step was to create a QCO2 with StarCraft. So for your information, QCO is a disk image format used by QEMU. After that, we planned to run QEMU inside a privileged container. And just a quick word on what's QEMU. It's a virtual machine emulator, and to run it, so you need the /dev/kvm, which is a special file exposed by the host. but that's part of a pseudo file system. So to access it, you have to run the container in privilege mode. That's how we manage to do it. So after that, we plan to install Windows XP, boot it up, and play StarCraft. And so the second part, running QEMU, actually worked. We got QEMU running inside a container. Great. We managed also to install Windows XP, but then we hit a wall. We got a problem. And our plan was to mount the QQ2 with StarCraft, disk image from the host directly into Dagger. But for security reason, Dagger doesn't allow direct mounting from the host. So instead of using a mount, we had to copy the entire image file, approximately 16 gigabytes, byte by byte, into the container, which wasn't ideal, especially for large files. So in the end, yes, Windows XP ran with Dagger, but sadly, no StarCraft. It was a fun challenge, and we are happy we got something working. And if you want to check an article, Tristan actually wrote a full article, and feel free to scan the QR code or check out the link to read more. And with that, I hand it over to Matthias for the second part, a deeper dive into Dagger itself.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about a little bit about what we learned this night about Dagger and after, because well, it was not working and we didn't really know why. So basically, we got a lot of problems with the volume and things like that. So we tried to deep dive a little bit, and we found that at the end, Dagger is a container which is running its workload directly with runc, avoiding to use the socket, the Docker socket of the host, which is really great and do a very good job to sorry for my cat.
And we have some cat lovers watching, I know, so they love that.
Yeah. And so it was not really possible to directly mount a volume from the host into one of the runc workload run by Dagger. So we learned a lot about Dagger, but it was not working. So we got some other options. And for the first one, we tried Docker Windows, which is a container that is designed to run Docker to run Windows into Docker. It does a really good job, and so we found that this image was using Samba, which is a Windows capability for sharing files with host or with other Windows instances. So we tried to directly put the StarCraft disk into the Dagger container where the Samba mounting point would be. So it was working great. So we installed Windows and all, and we managed to launch StarCraft, but StarCraft needed a CD-ROM to be played. So it was installed, but can't be played at the end. So it was really disappointing. And so we tried another thing, which was to use libvirt. If you can, you can switch, Tristan.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, so it was a really good idea, but inside of Docker, it was really hard to use because it uses a socket and a socket from the host. So it was not really a good idea at the end. And I let Tristan continue.
I just want to go back to the Docker thing. I want to thank a lot Marco from the Dagger team, who we chatted a little about our problem, and he gave us an example where he was using Docker to run Windows XP in Dagger. So he did that before us, and thank you very much for the hint that you gave us. So now let's see if we made it. I will just escape and show you a little window called Kemu VCN. Let me connect to VCN. And here we are. So during Dagger at night, we let you just here. So let me just make it a little bigger. Yeah, let's go. We let you here, but there was no StarCraft. Now did we manage to make StarCraft working? So let's go to my computer. And here we have a little program called StarCraft. We launch it, and let's go. We can play StarCraft now. So
Nice.
yeah, so the remaining part of the presentation will just be me playing StarCraft for I think 1 hour, if you're okay with that.
We have 10 minutes.
Yeah, so jokes aside, let's go back to the presentation. So now you might be wondering how we did it. So basically, the trick was just a simple bash script. As you may know, a container is basically just a process. So when you spin up a container, it will spin up a process with certain what we call Linux namespaces that make sure that the process is isolated from the host. Long story short, as long as your process is living, your container will live. So our problem was that we couldn't mount multiple CD-ROMs to the same Kemu process. So what we did, we spin up a little bash script that was doing everything sequentially. First, we launch VNC, which is the console that is used to play StarCraft, to play from the virtual machine. Then we create a little QCOW2 disk to avoid the volume problem. Then we install Windows XP thanks to that script. And finally, we launch Windows with the StarCraft disk mounted. So just to deep dive into that, what happens is that, okay, the VNC client is launched in background, so we can use that during the entire lifecycle of the container. Then you install Windows XP, you reboot Windows, and then boom, you can play StarCraft. And now what it is into Dagger, it's really easy. It's the entire complexity is within the Docker container. So in Dagger, you can just industrialize all that thing. You mount your two ISO files. You add a little end variable to tell our bash scripts where are StarCraft. Then you give some exposed parts. Actually, you only need the 8006 parts. And then you run the entry script. So now, if you want to check out the code, everything is here. It's called the Zerg project because obviously Zerg is the best race in StarCraft. And now let's focus on what we learned during all that. So first, we thought that we could use this little trick to launch Windows jobs from Dagger, because I think that now it's not yet possible. But let's say that you have like a BAT script, you could eventually launch it through a virtual machine launched by Dagger. Then another thing would be to add a GPU path through. So basically, it means dedicating your entire GPU to a virtual machine. Because right now we can't play big games like, for example, GTA or other games because they need a GPU to be played. Then, unfortunately, we can't play multiplayer for now because we don't have any private server, but that's not a big deal. And also we learned a lot of good practices about containers. Because actually we dig down, we went inside the Dagger engine. I can show you that really quickly. Sorry for the the switch. So let's say that we run Docker PS, then we see the Dagger engine. We can run this little command to go within it. And so if you go inside the run folder, you go inside runc, you can see just one thing. So that is our Dagger process. It is a StarCraft basically. But at some point into that, we add a lot of containers that were not killed correctly, because when you are dealing with a lot of processes running inside the one container, you might have what we call dead processes. So we used Tiny to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And finally, the last thing, it's a little bit of a bad surprise, but when you shut down your Dagger process, your game will not be saved. So it's kind of a pity, but we didn't manage to make it persistent yet. But yeah, I think that's all for us. Before going to the questions, I just want to thank some people for their help on that project. So first of all, thank you very much, Miranda, for giving us the opportunity to talk today. It was great. We want to thank Marco, as I said before, because we talked a little about Windows in Dagger and etc. Also, we want to thank from Dagger Tom and Justin, who gave us a lot of good hints during the Dagger Hack Night. And finally, Samuel Ortiz and Vincent Berry, that are two of our teachers. And thank you very much, guys, for giving us all these lessons about virtualization and containerization. So thank you. Do you have any questions?
We thank you, all of you, for an amazing presentation and beautiful storytelling plus amazing demo, which is like, it's just the best combination. So, there's not necessarily questions. There's just everyone that's so excited about seeing this and great comments. Yeah, thank you for sharing this. It's a great reminder that, learning and getting involved with this stuff, even with Dagger, like it can just be, very fun, exciting demos to see, and fun use cases. And then, you get to the Christoph's type of demos, and then you're figuring out like, okay, what are the pain points, on this platform engineering side that I really need to solve? And then it's people like you who've built just these, fun examples, and then it makes it easier for people to understand how they could implement it in their day-to-day work as well, including playing StarCraft during lunchtime.
Yeah, definitely.
Very, very fun to see. Jeremy, did you have any? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Was there one? I was just okay. Never mind. But Jeremy, did you have any thoughts or kind of closing statements for the community today too?
Well, I think it was great to see. I mean, the sweep of the demos today. Both about if you've got a mature, Dagger, Dagger set of modules for perhaps, or Daggerized projects, and you want to keep things up to date. Kind of really operationalizing that. Love seeing that from Christoph, and so yeah, super happy that we've got people in the community who are thinking about things like that, and of course, and Christoph's team actually out there doing, helping actual companies with Dagger in this way as well, which is awesome. And then, and just like you said, seeing folks like Tristan and Dorian and Matthias, like pushing the envelope here, like pushing us forward into areas that are both like fun, but also help us understand the internals better. And then, pushing us, for example, we have some GPU support, there's a Dagger engine with GPU support. So but can we get this GPU accessible to apps in these certain situations? Or it was suggested, how about, how does this work with things like, the holy grail of getting, working with Mac OS, or how do we start thinking about like working with directing other types of machines, native machines in different ways. So all of this is like this type of research, which has a big element of fun, which helps drive us forward. Also, inevitably, will end up in practical applications for our work that are going to make everything better. So, no, this is just a perfect community call, perfect demos. It makes me so happy.
Yeah,
Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you very much.
Very excited to see these continued conversations. Like I said, one of the things when we had wrapped up kind of the London Hack Night and had mentioned, this demo in particular, I know it got a lot of people interested and intrigued on what the heck it was. So I'm very excited to have this demo up now. We will have the demo snippets ready tomorrow, so everyone will see those in our YouTube, which is a good reminder to subscribe to our YouTube if you haven't already, because we upload a lot of videos, not only from the community calls, but Jeremy's team does live streams and a lot of different quick starts as well. So if you subscribe, you'll get those notifications and see it probably before we even get it out on social until we automate more of that. There's going to be a delay. So
are you saying they should like and subscribe? Is that what you're saying,
like
Miranda?
and subscribe. The button somewhere. We'll put it over there. Yes, please like and subscribe so you get the notifications quickly. We're also trying to do a lot more in terms of keeping people updated via emails. So if you go on dagger.io and you haven't already subscribed to our newsletter, please do so. We're trying to get a lot better at that. And I know people have been mentioning they appreciate it. So that way it just gets right to their inbox. So do that if you have a second. And then we look forward to seeing all of you on the next community call in 2 weeks. So thank you again, everyone, for joining. And I hope you have a wonderful day.
Bye. Yeah, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.